Yo, what's up, guys? Bonafide Hustler here.
Rake and Profit.
CP.
Cody Hawk.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Green Room Hangout number 51. Today we're going to discuss making the jump from part-time to full-time. This should be a great show, action-packed, and we even have Luigi here with us down below. Look what College Picker looks like. CP, what is going on, man?
It's me, Luigi.
I'm the only person without any green on. That's not cute. Okay,
So
I got some green on my shirt.
it's a theory I have. It's natural birth control. You grow out this facial hair and you just let your hair grow, and you never have the temptation of women on you.
Okay. I think Matthew McConaughey would disagree because he's completely like homeless looking, but he seems to be doing okay in that arena.
But he's
anyway.
also like net worth a lot more than I am.
Yeah, okay. Well, anyway, Luigi, I'm the Bonafide Hustler. I reside in Austin, Texas. I flip stuff that I find from garage sales, estate sales, yard sales, swap meets, flea markets, pawn shops, and I put it on places like eBay, Amazon, Craigslist, and my antique booth. I also have a book that's called Flip That Shh. We won't say that right now. Got an upcoming bike guide called Bikes to Bucks that's coming out real soon, and it's in its final stages of editing. And that's who I am. I'll toss it to my main man, Rakin.
What's going on, everybody? My name's Steve Rakin, or you can call me Rake and Profit, which I'm known by on YouTube. Been selling on eBay, Amazon, Craigslist, Kindle, doing YouTube for a few years, and always learning, always looking to give back in terms of what I've learned from all you folks. But yeah, excited for today's show because this is big. Everyone has got to start somewhere, and transitioning to a full-time whatever business owner or reseller is huge. So with that being said, I'll pass it off to Luigi.
It's me, Luigi. Hey guys, I like to flip video games. It's one of my specialties in electronics. Actually sold some video games today featuring Mario and Luigi for the N64, Mario Party 2, Mario Party 3 that popped up on my phone. I am mainly doing a lot of Amazon and Etsy right now. I have done a lot of eBay in the past, done Craigslist. I am the Guitar Hero guru. I wrote a Bible on it. That was put out for sale last year sometime, and it's free for people that are in the green room. It's actually chock-packed with a lot of information about a really specific niche of reselling. And right now I reside on the planet Earth, and I'm working actually a full-time job, so I'm super excited for this show so I can learn how to quit my job and start off making it full-time.
What's up, guys? Cody Hawk coming to you from an undisclosed location, a hotel room right now, and I'm working on several businesses. Right now I'm working on a huge video project that you guys will see soon, and I do my e-commerce on Amazon FBA, my marketing business, all this other stuff. Let's jump right into the show.
There's a kid in the background.
That's one of my daughters.
Yeah, that's one of his daughters in the background, so if you see a little kid jumping on the bed, that's just his daughter. We are in the comment feed right now on YouTube, guys, so if you look down below, there's a comment feed going on. It's erupting right now, and we are looking into it to see who is here representing the Green Room Hangout number 51. What's interesting about that is there are a lot of Green Roomers in the Hangout, people that are members of our private group on Facebook. So if you're thinking about joining the Green Room and, you got some idea, you're thinking, like, should I join, I don't know, ask some of the people down below. There's a ton of people from the room inside this hangout right now. We got Franco Gutierrez, Big Papa 1, Ostex Picker, Racing Stripes, Rake and Profit. Hey, Rake and Profit, you're in here, man. We got Holland Hobbies, Cool Toads. We have Ben H, Jeremiah Bryan, and Henry S. We got a lot of people from the Green Room in here. So basically, the show is going to be about how to take your entire hustler game from part-time to full-time. It's going to be a very interesting episode because we've all, except for Luigi over here, we've lived it, we've done the transition, and there's some surprises down the road, so you're going to want to tune in so that way you don't make the same mistakes that we made, and that's what it's all about. And that's exactly what the Green Room is about. It's about people that have made a lot of mistakes but know a lot of really interesting things to flip, so there's a lot of cool stuff in there to check out. I had a question before we get into our broadcast. Rakin and Cody and Luigi. I did have an actual question from Facebook. Okay, so someone found me on Facebook, huge fan of my channel, and was like, look, I'm thinking about joining the Green Room, but I can't, what exactly do I get aside from the actual bolo list and the the things that are going on in the feed every single day in the room? Like, what do I get behind the scenes? What's in the file section? So, Rakin, do you think you know everything, or should I just say what I have on my sheet here?
Man, I don't know. It's hard to go against a sheet.
Okay. I actually went into the file section today because there's so much good stuff in there. Here's what's free in the room right now. Okay, so in the file section we have the Exploits of Life guide, which is what Luigi was talking about, that Guitar Hero guide, that niche kind of thing that you can find anywhere in America. Okay, I'm not going to lie, this is not just in College Picker's hood or Cody Hawk's hood or Rakin's hood. You can find Guitar Hero stuff, Rock Band stuff, and you have to know how to bundle this stuff correctly, how to test it out. You know, if you're missing a piece, it's all about not getting the return when it comes to Guitar Hero stuff. It's about taking really good money that's easy to make, and you can find it all over the place, especially garage sales. Exploits of Life is basically the Guitar Hero guide. That's for free in the room. We have 100 amazing items to resell guide, and that was a guide with 100 actual items that we 5 put in there. And yeah, that guide will show you if you're a beginner, intermediate, hustler, even expert hustler. People are reading that going, there's so much in here that I didn't even know about. So that's really cool that you guys made this guide for us. That's a free guide in the room right now. On the open market, that's $40. Exploits of Life on the open market, which is the Guitar Hero guide, that's $20. We have 102 killer clothing brands. Rakin, that's your second installment, right?
Yep.
Okay, and that one's $20 on the open market, right?
Correct.
Okay, so that's free in the room right now. We also have Yong's books. So some people don't know that Yong actually created a book, or a guide, should you say, about experiencing antique booth success. And we have a lot of people that are in the green room that came in just trying to learn some stuff. We have a lot of people in there showing pictures of their booths, you know, touting all the stuff that they're putting in there, real proud of, you know, making their rent and then some profit every month. So the antique booth thing is a really cool thing that I think you can find in just about every town. Cody, up there in the northwest part of the country, do people have antique booths or anything like that?
Yeah, there's quite a few. There's a lot of them up here.
Okay, so it's easy to make. It's feasible to make money in antique booths in your area. Luigi, currently probably in New Mexico, right? What about antique booths in New Mexico? Does that even exist, dude?
When I was flying through New Mexico, I was not looking at antique booths, but I probably think that they exist somewhere here.
All right. What about boxes that are right above your head with a big question mark on them? Do you ever hit those with your head, and what comes out of them every time? I'm just kidding. Okay.
Coins.
Coins, huh?
Mushrooms.
And Rakin, I know you were looking into antique booths in Connecticut. Something didn't make sense for you to get into it, but what was that?
I mean, we had a few around here, but the big problem, you know, it seemed to be the foot traffic. There wasn't a lot of traffic, and there's a few good ones, but they were like over an hour away, so it wasn't really feasible for me.
Okay. Now there are other people on YouTube land, like Brent Ott, for example, who has like 3 or 4 antique booths. So he's a really good person to hit up. He's also under Trash Talking Treasures, so he's a really cool channel, and he deals with antiques all the time. Antique booth success is really fun. Even Yong has an antique booth. So I think in the green room right now it's me, Yong, so far with the antique booths among the other members. That's a free guide in the room. My book, Flip That Shh, we won't say that word, is 25% off. There's a code in the room for that. 101 killer clothing brands and Blazing Profits has a 25% discount code within the room right now. And then my newest bike guide, which comes out in sub 7 days. Okay, so less than a week, this new bike guide, which I'm thinking in the open market is going to be somewhere between $40 and $50. Now trust me, your first bike flip, everyone knows it. You're going to make that money back very, very quickly. That's going to be a free guide in the room as well when it comes out. And trust me, that bike guide is no joke. It is very, very in-depth. So
that's how I got started, man, watching your videos on YouTube, man, before clothing, before Kindle, before YouTube, flipping bikes, man. And I tell you, like you said, you choose the right Trek bike or Cannondale or one of those bikes, man, you can get them at yard sales all the time for $20, $30, and you know how much they can sell for, man. It's crazy. A lot of people don't realize how much money's in bicycles.
Yeah, and a lot of people I don't think realize in the fact that, you know, investing in yourself as well. I mean, why did you go to Tony Robbins? You know, why do you look at a Kindle course, you know, when you didn't even know anything about Kindle books? Like, why did you even get into that course for $67, right?
Yeah.
You know, you have to spend money to make money. Education is one of those things that when someone robs you of every material good that you have in your entire life, the one thing they can never rob you of unless they kill you is your brain, right? You have that. I mean, your brain stays with you, and it's what you have achieved in your head. You can get down from when you're just pummeled to the ground and getting the crap kicked out of you. You can rise back up with your education, okay? Doesn't matter if they key your car or destroy all your stuff, and you know, you can rise out of the ashes with a good mindset and a good education. So invest in yourself, invest in your brain is very important. Okay, that's enough of my rant.
Did you mention my wholesale book?
Yeah. Okay, so Cody, real quick.
Well, that was a new edition.
The sheet failed you.
Yeah, sorry, man. Cody, did you put that in the file section, yes or no?
No, I honestly didn't put it myself. I don't know how that works, to be perfectly honest, but I know I gave it away to all the members.
Okay, what exactly is this thing that, there's another free thing, obviously. Is it a free thing or is it a half-off thing?
No, it's free to all the Green Room members, and basically it goes through how to get started with wholesale products, how to do the research and where to buy them. I give like 77 different sites that I've personally used, and I've also got an hour-long video because everyone knows my videos are long, so I got an hour-long video explaining the process and things like that, and I gave that away in the room as well.
Did you do the entire video on one breath?
No, I didn't, but I probably could. I've also been personally making some exclusive Green Room videos. So I know those aren't for sale anywhere else, but there's some really good stuff. They've been a big hit in the room, and I made a couple. I've got a couple more I'm working on some really advanced topics for FBA and some other stuff.
Okay, so let's hit it home with the Kindle Business Academy. When is that coming out, guys? And what's the discount in the room for that?
Take it away, Cody. I heard the breath coming, so I was giving it to you.
To be perfectly honest with you guys, we actually got hacked. I will say this publicly. We got hacked, so it put us behind. The Kindle Business Academy is going to be 50% off to the Green Room members, which is going to be the most interactive course out there. The thing's amazing, but unfortunately our site got hacked, and so we had a couple setbacks. But that's coming out real soon. Myself and Steve are actually meeting about it tomorrow. We're doing the final revisions, and then it'll be out. And the Green Room members get 50% off, which it's going to be, the base course is going to be $100. So they're going to get $50 off just off the base course.
And also I want to mention, if you could hack the site again, you just get it for free. So I'll just throw that out there as well.
No, I'm not going to allow that. I put in a lot of work to make sure. You're going to have to be working for like the NSA to hack it at this point.
Okay, so if we have any NSA people, it's still probably a free thing for you guys if you want to try. So that answers the entire, what do you get in the Green Room in the file section, because that came from Nathan Galbraith in my Bonafide Hustler Facebook. So that's cool. I'm all about helping people out. The other question was kind of funny. It's kind of funny, but Angie Diekhoff says, what time is this show in Lincoln, Nebraska? Is Lincoln, Nebraska Central Time, or is it before 1 hour? Is it after 1 hour? I don't know. So someone tell me, if you know in the comment feed, Lincoln, Nebraska, what's the time zone of that? Please let me know. She could be an hour ahead or an hour behind, not even seeing the show at all. Whatever. Okay, let's get into our topic. Okay, and then we'll go into the comment feed. But we see that we have 66 viewers in the room right now. Tons of people talking about Green Room crap. Cherie Harrison says, "Where's Yang tonight?" Yang is attending something happened, something not unfortunate, but he had to go pick up his boss at a train station. That's all I know. So yeah. All right. So let's get into our topic, transitioning from being part-time hustler into full-time hustler. And we're going to kick it off today with Cody Hawk, the one and only.
All right, so for me, the big thing was the lifestyle change, because this question is a pretty broad question, because there's going to be a lot of you coming from different places. Some of you may be younger. I get people on my channel that are like 16 years old and trying to get their first job, and some of you may have, a wife and 3 kids like myself. So it's going to be a broad, lifestyle change. But for myself, with managing my time and changing my lifestyle, that was probably the most important thing, going from part-time to full-time, because when you're trying to make an addition, like somebody like CP, who works a lot in his job and then trying to run his side hustle, when you're trying to make that addition and you're trying to change your lifestyle for that, really managing your time properly to build this up was the most important thing for me. So, honestly, you started with me, but I'm like the one winging it because I came in late and don't have my dedicated topics. But really, my biggest thing when I went from part-time to full-time was structuring my business to a point where I could actually work it full-time. And for me, working from home actually didn't work. A lot of you know that I actually got an office, but the most important thing for me was having a dedicated space. And so whether that's because you're used to leaving for work, you're used to waking up and going somewhere. Like I'm sure CP wakes up, probably doesn't have a pharmacy in those cubbies behind him. He's got to have a place where he goes. Where most of you, you're going to be going for changing the way you do and you run your business, having a dedicated space where you can shut the door and actually work on your business for X X amount of time. And the most important thing for a lot of people is being able to treat it like a real business, because you don't have a boss saying you have to be here or there, you have to leave whenever you're allowed to leave, whenever you have lunch. I mean, literally being able to motivate yourself. Probably one of the biggest lacking characteristics in wannabe entrepreneurs is they can be told what to do. That's why 99% of people have jobs. But when you have to actually do something yourself, when you have to say, okay, I'm going to rise up and I'm going to work on this business for 12 hours, like for example, myself right now, I'm traveling and doing all these projects, you have to actually self-motivate yourself, and the best way to do that is to be able to separate yourself from your personal life and your work life. So whether it's a small room in your house, getting an office like I got, or anything in between, but really changing your lifestyle and bringing your family on board. One thing for me, when I went full-time and my wife was still part-time, getting them to realize that just because you're home doesn't mean, dad's home, doesn't mean, what you're doing is any less significant just because you're in the house. So really having that lifestyle thing, and I know that's going to hit harder with people who have kids than, single people or married couples, because for them it's a little easier, but realizing that you still have work hours, but your work hours are at home typically. And that's the most important transition you'll make when getting started with your lifestyle.
Okay, cool. Is that your entire bit, Cody, or you want to take another breath and go for another 5 minutes?
No, that's it for right now.
Cody is like the king of when you get going, man, you are like a freight train, dude. You will go on one breath for an hour. I know you, man.
Yeah.
That's good, because at least we can't classify your stuff as rants. They're actually very, very good dialogues.
Monologues.
Monologues, dialogues, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, they're good. Thanks, Cody, for your input on that. Luigi. Well, Luigi, you're learning right now, right?
I am taking a bunch of notes from Cody. I have my note sheet ready for Steve, and I'll get one for Chris.
Okay. Before we get to me and Steve, Luigi, you traveled the USA with no job, right? You hustled across the USA for a summer or undisclosed period of time, but you got to experience full-time for a little bit, yes or no?
I mean, it's a different type of full-time because the expenses aren't there that other people might have. I would say, yeah, full-time for somebody in their early 20s that doesn't have a lot of expenses.
Okay,
yes.
So that's cool, which is probably going to lead right up into my part. Okay, so transitioning from part-time to full-time, where did I get surprised, and what can I do to help you guys out there that are watching this broadcast right now? One of the main things, and I knew this going into my full-time whatever I did, right? Because it wasn't just I've been hustling for 11 years, guys, and I've been hustling through my corporate job back in the day, and there was another corporate job after that, and another corporate job after that. So I had 3 corporate jobs, but the largest corporate stint I had was about 9.5 years, and I was hustling through a majority of that part as well. And it all started with bikes and everything. So if you read my book, you know what I'm talking about. Now, when I was making the jump out of, I think maybe the second corporate job, that's when I was like, all right, putting things down on a piece of paper, like what do I owe every single month down to, if I had a car payment at that time or not, down to the car payment, down to the electricity bill, down to the cable bill, down to the cell phone bill, down to the projected food that I eat, when I go to Costco, how much does Costco cost every month for me? Every single little thing I was coming down on a Excel spreadsheet, and at the very end I'd hit that sum key and I would make sure to see what my expenses were. That's so important. You got to get the expenses down, okay? Because when you get your expenses down, it's not like you can just leave, okay? You have to be making, I think 50% of that. So I think get your expenses down, okay, and then target for about 50% of that to be coming in every month, and then make the jump. But here's the catch, though. You got to have this thing called an asteroid fund built in the background. Now, here's why I call it an asteroid fund. It might be referred to as an asteroid fund in many other places, but this actually comes from my co-host, Dizzle, on a podcast that I actually run. But he calls it an asteroid fund. It's a wonderful term for exactly this. And asteroids are kind of interesting because when they're coming to you or coming towards the Earth, really nothing you can do about it. You got to basically just brace yourself for the hit. And when an asteroid comes to you in real life, it's the same exact concept. It comes out of nowhere, and then it hits you, okay? And there's nothing you can do about it. It's a debilitating kind of thing. It kind of harms you for a little bit. And that can come in many different ways, right? You can come with car accident that you're liable for. It can come with all kinds of stuff. It can come with car repairs. It can come with unforeseen, maybe a loved one, family, or something. You have to pick up part of their living expenses for a little bit. It can come out of if you're a renter and you set fire to your entire apartment complex. Maybe you have a huge deductible to pay out. You got that too. So there's a lot of asteroid things that come into life. If you live a life with no asteroid hits, that you must have an amazing life, because they come out of nowhere. They happen to every single person. My most recent asteroid hit last year actually. It was in the tail end of last year, September. My AC condenser went out, and then they subsequently figured out that it was like the entire system, right? So goodbye $5,500 right there. And luckily I had it, but the whole point is like that's still a hit, and it's never easy to just give out $5,500 to somebody. But anyway, so that was an asteroid fund that I got to eat up. Now, when I'm talking about asteroid funds, like Cody said, there's no real blanketed approach to this. So your asteroid fund needs to be a little bit lower if you live with your parents, for example. Okay, if you live with your parents are probably going to take care of the house and anything goes wrong with it and all that kind of stuff. Your asteroid fund is really kind of low, especially if you have a bicycle and that's how you hustle. You probably have a very, very small asteroid fund, and that's okay. Because if your bicycle breaks down, you got to be able to fix it, or else now you're going to be walking.
It's stolen.
Yeah, exactly. And then if you're just walking to thrift, that's okay. But no one lives in a town where everything's within walking distance. It really doesn't work out like that. So you got to at least have a cargo bike or a car. So your asteroid fund has to be higher if you have a car, and then is the car a high mileage kind of car versus a brand new car. So if you have a brand new car, your asteroid fund's actually going to be lower because less things will go wrong with it. But if you have a car that's kind of high mileage and you have a car that's notoriously that's known for giving problems, your asteroid fund has to be a little bit larger for that sense. So an old car will have a larger asteroid fund associated to it as opposed to a new car, as opposed to a bicycle, obviously. And then, if you live with your parents, that's asteroid fund very low, right? Okay, so we put it maybe here, or we'll put it here. Let's say you're a renter in an apartment or a house, okay? You're renting a house or apartment. Your asteroid fund now is here. You have to go a little higher on your asteroid fund and build it up to, I don't know, $3,000 or something like that. And believe it or not, you can smoke up $3,000 pretty quickly if you're a renter. The last one is if you own your own stuff, okay? And if you're an owner of a house, your asteroid fund needs to be much larger. We're talking 5 to 10K just sitting there the entire time. It's okay to hustle your asteroid fund. If you come across a dedicated hustle that you're like, I know I can flip this thing in 1 week for this much money, pull out of that asteroid fund, flip the product, then put the money, make the money on that. But the point is, have the asteroid fund, especially if you're a homeowner. That's very important to have that asteroid fund built up. I can't explain it any more than that. That was one of the biggest surprises to me early on in the game. Was ooh, this asteroid fund really needs to be in effect, or I could be super screwed. So that's basically my, that was my big realizations in the game when I was coming out. When I was going to full time, I was really knowing my fixed costs and my liabilities. What do I owe other people, right? Power companies, cell phone bills, all that kind of stuff. Car payment if you have one. What do I owe other people every single month? What am I liable for? Write that down on a piece of paper. Get an Excel spreadsheet. And then the asteroid fund. Build an asteroid fund. And if you can get it gigantic, 20, 30, 50K, and if you're just a normal kind of dude, then 20, 30, 50K is kind of a cool asteroid fund to have, honestly. Then I think you can make a jump at that point. But yeah, don't dismiss the asteroid fund. That's a very important one right there. Or else you're going to be using credit card fund, and that's no fun. Because if you're paying interest to someone else, that's just if you're a homeowner, that's okay. If you're a car owner and you're paying 0 or 1%, that's okay. When you start paying 12 to 16 to 20% on something, and you're paying someone else that money, that is not okay. So have the asteroid fund built up. All right, that's me. Don't know if that's helpful or not, but really, that was the big eye-openers to me when I changed into the full-time section. I was like, ooh, it's important to have this thing built. So, all right. We want to go to the comment feed real quick, see what everyone's talking about?
Yeah,
see
let's
about
do it.
their asteroid funds.
I wonder how many times, if someone played a drinking game and they drank every time I said asteroid.
They'd be drunk right now.
No, quite possibly we could have intoxications going on all over the place, across the USA. So Lincoln, Nebraska is Central Time Zone, by the way. So there we go. So it's right now. I told the lady, I told her to look at my link, and the link has a countdown. Did you guys notice that? Countdown to where the show starts and everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So there we go. All right. Is that CP or is that Luigi? LOL. That's Alberto S. They think it's funny that you're called Luigi. Flip flops all day. Luigi. LOL. You're stealing the show, Luigi. Just want to let you know. Do we use coupons? So that's going to come into play, I'm pretty sure, at some point. I think no matter if you're part-time or full-time, you should always be using coupons, period. I mean, there's just no... That's the smart thing to do regardless of full-time or part-time. Always use coupons where you can. Use Groupon if you're going to be eating out at certain restaurants that you know you like the food. Get some Groupons. Go to Living Social. Go to all those things. Sign up for your favorite places. Follow them on Facebook, and you'll get like free yogurt days at Yogurtland here and there. Just sign up for all that free stuff. Chick-fil-A is one good one too. I think McDonald's is a good one too. You can get free coffee from them every now and then. Coupons don't have to just be coupons, guys. Like they can be liking a Facebook page or following a Twitter feed or something like that. That's how you can get crazy deals out there.
Coupons are everything. I mean, most millionaires I know even use that kind of stuff. Don't believe what you see in the movie. I mean, there's nothing cool about blowing money. Saving money is the cool thing. So use coupons wherever you can.
I don't use coupons.
Well, CP is he's making it rain out there, but everyone else who's not CP, you're good to go. Save your money once in a while.
I'm a coupon whore.
I figured.
And coupons can also be like going to Craigslist and getting your Home Depot, Lowe's cards, or Academy cards, or Dick's Outdoor Sporting Goods cards, or Bass Pro Shop cards, or Gander Mountain cards. Getting people that sell those cards when you're gonna buy that product and you have it laid out in the store, and you get to a Craigslist ad and you see that somebody has a gift card that's $3.50 and they're gonna sell it for like $2.60 or so. That's a good thing. That is a coupon. Any way you look at that, you're saving money. Look around your Craigslist for things that you know you have to buy within your house or things for a trip, an upcoming trip. Start programming your Craigslist apps to highlight those things so when someone comes with a gift card, you'll be alerted. You can get with the person, you can lowball them, and you can get your crazy stuff for like a way crazy discount. So
yeah, I did a video on that. I did a video on that. It's an awesome way to do it. And I buy like gift cards, like $100 at Target for like $85. So you can actually save money right off the get-go.
Yeah, the thing here that's kind of interesting is that there's a big scam in Austin going on with that whole gift card thing. And so that's the reason why I always urge people to use the gift cards as soon as possible. Have the person meet you inside the store.
You can call it in. You can call it in.
Okay, because I know that some people, like, once they verify the gift card, you're like, okay, so, and you give the person the money and they walk out the door, then they transfer the balance somehow to other cards. That's a huge scam that's, like, going around in Austin. So when you actually finally make your purchase, nothing's on the card, and you're like, ooh, I just got ripped off. So you got to be real careful with that kind of stuff, too. I haven't been ripped off, but I'm pretty sure I have bought gift cards from somebody that... And I don't know, right? So I'm not liable here, but I think they stole merchandise, returned it, and then got a gift card, then sold it to me. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know though. I put together the things later on after someone was like, "Wait, it kind of sounds like they stole it." I'm like, "Ooh, maybe they did." I don't know. Okay. Brian Cross, I was playing that drinking game and I'm wasted. Thank you, Bonafide Hustler.
Awesome.
Young, are you here?
Dude, I'm driving right now. I don't know if you guys can hear me or not, but
yeah, we can.
We can't hear you.
Hey, if the connection
Be safe, Young.
Thank you. Hey, but if the connection ends up being bad, just let me know and I'll get off. But yeah, I just want to join. And
Young, do you have any?
Pretty good.
Young, do you have any questions for the admins?
Do I have any questions for them? Yeah, I got some questions. Damn it! How come no one's wearing green?
We're all wearing green.
I can't even.
We're all wearing green, dude.
What?
Right now.
What? Dude.
Focus on the road, Young. Come on.
I am. Stop talking to me.
All right. So yeah, Holland Hobbies. My wife made the jump in December, where it's working great so far. Murray Zuckerman. Did anyone watch the shows Extreme Couponing? Talk about awesome savings. Yes, those shows will blow your mind. It'll really open up your mind to what extreme couponing is versus regular couponing.
Yeah, if you want 100 bottles of fish oil.
The extreme part really cannot be. Yeah, that's definitely extreme, but it can be done. People do it. And there are plenty of places. SavingsAngel.com is actually a really good couponing person to deal with. You'll see. SavingsAngel.com. Okay. Mr. Saddy123, good evening. Good evening, Bubbas. What's up, man? Chevy's in first. Hey, guys, first time tuning in. Hey, cool. Chevy's in first. Guys, this is my first time tuning in. Isn't that wonderful? Nice.
Welcome, welcome.
Welcome, welcome.
Welcome.
And then Orange Elephant F523 says Asteroid Fund must be a separate account. Mine's in a different bank than my checking account, and it takes 2 days to transfer the money. It's amazing how many emergencies will clear up in 2 days. Yeah. And then Glendon Cameron says make a checking account into several different accounts, one for taxes, one for business, one for bills, one for long-term expenses. It makes it easy to see what accounts needs more money at any given time. It's pretty good. Yeah, it's not bad. I have 3 or 4 different accounts right now, something like that. Anyway, but so one is in a completely different bank that takes me, like, I physically go to it like once a month, so, and I don't ever look at that thing online or anything, so I just deposit money on leave.
I think I have about 3 or 4 accounts.
Yeah, I think most people, if you're a hustler, you probably have 4 accounts, honestly. More than
I got like 10 accounts.
All right.
Of course, I mean,
I told you, man, if you're a hustler, you have 4. If you have 10, you're not a hustler.
you're selling drugs if you have 10 and you're hiding stuff.
Well, it's for every one of those coins, you know? He's Luigi, so he's got to put, he gets too many coins every day.
8 of them are offshore.
Okay. All right, we're at 80 few viewers right now. Guys, if you like this show, if you like this topic, Rakin, what do they need to do, man?
Man, they got to burn some calories right now, and they got to take their finger, put it on the mouse, and drag it to that little thing that's sticking up. It's a thumb.
Oh,
Hit that. It's good.
You know what I just figured out? I just figured
It'll
out I
bring
can
good
like
karma
my
into
own
your
hangout.
life.
I can like my own hangout. I just liked my own hangout.
You just
Guys,
figured that out?
Yeah, because I'm not the kind of guy who like likes my own stuff. I don't do that. I don't know why.
I like
but
your
I guess,
stuff.
You were
well,
just
I know you
telling
like
me
my
that,
stuff, and I like
the other
your
day-
stuff. What'd you say, Rakin?
you were telling me the other day you have like 10 different accounts and you hit like all at once.
Oh, dude, I have two YouTube. No, I have 3 YouTube accounts. One is Bod Damn, the workout thing. The other one is Bonafide Hustler, and the other one's just my normal name. Or no, I have 4 accounts on YouTube. One's just it's a weird channel where I put up edited videos of like the weird stuff that I do. Anyway, I won't tell anybody what that one is.
Bonafide gets real weird on some channels. That's all I'm gonna say.
No joke, man. Okay, so who are we? We're on Rakin right now. Rakin, you got your spiel ready?
Yeah,
or
yeah.
You ready?
Man, I could just freestyle right off the top. But yeah, I mean, pretty much a few years ago, I think it was about 2.5 years ago, I was working at a restaurant, the Cracker Barrel we've talked about before, which has amazing food. I was a waiter, so I was working, 30, 40 hours a week doing my thing. And how it all started with me is I actually started watching Chris's videos, and I was flipping bikes and stuff like that. And I slowly eased into it. So I didn't just jump right from part-time to full-time. It was like a slow transition. But to kind of touch on the thing that I want to talk about is the one thing that was most difficult for me when I finally started making a transition over and was earning enough money was managing my time. Because as you guys know, I mean, if you work at a normal job, it's pretty much, someone tells you what to do and you do it. You just show up, you clock in, you do what people say, and you clock out. But what I started to struggle with was, just managing multiple things. I mean, when I first started off, I was only doing eBay and Craigslist, and then I got into Amazon, and now I'm in Kindle, and I do YouTube and product launches and internet marketing stuff. The big thing is managing your time, and I realized that if you just try to wing it during the day, the first thing that's going to happen is you're not going to spend your time on the most important things, and you're going to notice your income is going to go down, and secondly, you're going to realize that you're going to just forget to do things. And one of the biggest things that everyone needs to realize is if you want to be successful, you don't need to be the smartest, you don't need to be the fastest, the quickest, the brightest, but the one trait that you need to have, the one thing you need to do is be consistent. So whatever that is, if that's Amazon, Craigslist, Kindle, YouTube, whatever it is, you need to be consistent. And to go a step further, you need to be consistent with the things that are going to bring you in the most money. So how do you figure that out? Well, you need to take a look at what you're making, how much time you're spending, and what really the best results are. So you could do that with spreadsheets like Excel. You could use Google Docs. You could use Google Keep. You could use a whole bunch of different things to keep track of it all. But you need to figure out what's your biggest bang, your biggest bang for your buck, or whatever you want to say. What do you want to spend your time doing? And you want to do that consistently. And you need to manage your time. When you're working for yourself, it's really easy to get distracted. And one thing that I realized is I had to stop just responding to people, because a lot of times people, they want to come at you with, they want to take your time, your friends want to take your time, your family wants to take your time. There's nothing wrong with that, but you need to realize that if you're working for yourself, you've got to do certain things to make your money. It's not just clocking in and clocking out. So, one thing that I do is I like to turn off my phone. I like to get out of Facebook. I'll close out of my email. I'll take down Facebook and stuff like that, and that really helps a lot. So managing your time is huge. Again, Google Keep, Trello, Google Docs, Excel spreadsheets, those things really helped me a lot. And to-do lists, of course. Secondly, another thing that I struggled with, and something that I didn't have to really be on top of as much when I was working for a company, was kind of keeping track of everything, because I was living at my parents' house as well. When I made a transition, I was living at home with them, and I didn't really have to keep track of all my income and expenses as much. Asteroid fund, I didn't really need as big of an asteroid fund as well. But one thing that I've done lately is I've created a Google sheet, and I suggest you guys use Google Sheets over Excel, because you can access it from anywhere in the world, any computer. And I have, every 2 weeks I go in and I track all of my incomes that I have for all the different things, and all of my expenses as well. And that's huge, because I'm telling you guys right now, if you just let it go and you just kind of freestyle it, you're going to realize that you're spending a lot of money on stuff that you shouldn't be, and it really adds up. And the same thing on the other side of the coin with your income. If you're not looking at it and monitoring it on a weekly or monthly basis, you're going to realize things, good or bad. So that's helped me out a ton. You're not just going to get a paycheck just like your job. Income's going to be up 1 month, down 1 month, depending on what you're doing. So keeping track of it all is huge, and that's really going to help a lot. So time management and just measuring your results was really the things that allowed me to grow as a business owner.
Steve, when you do your income and expenses sheet, is that personal expenses, or are you doing business expenses versus business income?
Yeah, so I have it broken down into a few different categories. I suggest that you kind of have a personal and then you have a business, because you want to look at it from both ways. I mean, one example of one thing that I realized that I was screwing up with is I didn't realize how much money I was spending, going out to eat. It was crazy. I've always kind of kept track of it, but I wasn't anal about it. I wasn't looking at every single cent. And when I did, I was like, oh my gosh, and I made an adjustment. I started, shopping more and going to the grocery store and eating in more. But you guys will learn a lot about yourself and your finances by keeping track of everything. So I highly recommend you do that if you want to transition as a full-time reseller or business owner.
That's absolutely true, man. So that's good. Well, we heard from Rick and Profit over there. We are now down to College Picker. Let's, College Picker, you probably are, people are probably living vicariously through you right now, right? You're sitting there taking notes. You're doing the things that people should be doing. Are you drawing an asteroid?
I should have done it backwards. It was my asteroid fund.
Okay, I see it. You're holding $1. That better be one of those rare $500,000 bills that nobody ever thought.
I mean, it's just a representation.
Okay, no, I understand. I mean, I understand it's not a real asteroid coming into your house right now. So, what have you written down, College Picker? What should people be writing down right now? What are your key takeaways?
Organization is huge. Self-motivation, discipline. I actually haven't really worked a full-time job until this year. Everything else was kind of like a part-time job. School was my full-time job. That was my full-time job. I realize that now. But I didn't get paid for it, so it was a lot of work with no result. So discipline is huge, but I really haven't been learning the discipline thing until I've worked my full-time job over the past last year. That has shown me that I can be disciplined. So the discipline is huge, and it might have been something that is a good takeaway for my working experience currently, and that I will have to shift into the self-business sector. But discipline is huge. You kind of have to have that in the working sector, but you really have to draw it out of your body unwillingly in the self-entrepreneurial sector.
Yep. And let me ask you this question. You said you alluded to the fact at the beginning of the podcast, on the Hangout, that
it'll be a podcast eventually.
It will, actually. You're right. You alluded to that you want to leave your job one day. Yes or no? Is that still kind of an active thought?
Of course. Right now I'm just building my resume. So it's like I told people this. They didn't believe me. I did pharmacy as my backup, my plan B, but I did it first, if that makes any sense.
So you're experiencing what it could have given you, and you're still having the itch to leave, right?
Oh, absolutely. But I don't think it's the work. I just think it's the having to be somewhere during this time, like at this time, you know, when you want to be doing other things. So
yeah. And that's one of those challenging things even Cody was talking about and Raycon was talking about it, you know, getting to a full-time position. Don't think it's all like amazing. There's so many other things that hit you once you go full-time that will surprise the hell out of you. One of them is the structure of a full-time job versus, you know, waking up at a certain time and having your morning, you know, your body in a morning state where it's always waking up at the same time. It's not freaking out. It knows what to do. It knows what clothes to put on, and then it knows what roads to take. When you're your own boss, a lot of weird thoughts will start creeping through your head. A lot of weird, like, oh, I could just, you know, take off today. I can wake up whenever I want. I can do this. I can do that. Problem is, those thoughts are very poisonous. I mean, you gotta really, like what Raycon said, you have to really combat. You're up against yourself at that point, right? No one but yourself is going to hold yourself accountable. And that gets very hard sometimes. That was, you know, I need to revise my initial thing from fixed costs and liabilities in asteroid funds to the real learning thing was the inner psychology of how you act once you're full-time.
I've fallen into some vicious negative cycles, like just waking up at noon. Like there's been times where like there was a month where I just like woke up at like 1 o'clock, like not caring at all. Like it's so difficult at times to fight those negative thoughts, right? Oh, I'm gonna stay up till 5 in the morning today. I'm gonna wake up at noon. I'm gonna do whatever I want. Like it takes practice, and you know I'm not even perfect. I screw up all the time still, but consistency, right?
Yeah, Cody, echo in on this real quick because we know you are very good at scheduling and everything. You have got kids, you got a wife. I mean, you got a lot of things that you need to tend to on an everyday basis. So how do you budget? I mean, are you waking up at the same time every day? Who's holding Cody Hawk accountable right now?
That's pretty much what I was talking about. I mean, I'm the only one to hold myself accountable because we run our business and everything, and that's our full-time income for my whole family. And so you have to set that almost alarm within yourself. And everyone is capable of this, and the reason I know that to be true is because everyone has a job, and if you have a job, you're willing to do it. You're willing to allow someone to control your life. You just have to decide to control your own and set up a schedule. So I strongly urge everyone to start small. It's kind of like Chris, you know this. I'm sure a lot of people come to you for fitness advice because you're in such good shape, and they're like, man, I want to get in great shape in the next month or two or by summer. That's ridiculous. You've been working out your whole life, and these people maybe they're overweight. And it's the same type of thing in business. You slowly but surely trim the fat. You slowly add things. You start working out once a week. In your business, you start adding things once a week, and then you slowly build, and you start off, and as you trim that fat, you end up, the bona fide hustler.
Thanks, man. That was really cool, dude. I love that. No, I completely agree with you, and especially with the fitness sense. I mean, nobody can just go from zero to heroes that fast. You have to be a lot of things in place, and to sit there and just, some people, and that's the reason why some of these diets don't work. You see people clearing out their fridges, right, throwing everything in the trash, then they have a brand new fridge with like all this stuff in it, like veggies and like fire yogurt and all this stuff and juices, and it's like, it was too sudden, right? It's too sudden. You have to go slower than that. You have to do things slower. And when you're working out, your body will hurt if you try to go 5 times a week like I do, or 6 times a week. You will hate working out. But if you start going 2 times a week or 3 times a week, you'll actually love working out. So you can't go too heavy into it. I mean, you have to go slow. You gotta be like Raycon, right? Raycon's on a track of, changing his entire body. I mean, when he was here in Austin last summer, I mean, he was just, when I said, hey, man, like, what are we getting this morning for breakfast? And, if you come to my house in Bonafide Hustler and you're a visitor, then I'm going to take you to, like, all kinds of stuff, breakfast tacos and this and that. Probably not good for you stuff, but when guests come in, I got to show them Austin food. But when I said, we can go get breakfast tacos or this or, like, egg scrambled plates or a smoothie, Raycon on the video was like, oh, yeah, I'll do a smoothie, man. I would like a smoothie. That'd be cool. But if it's little steps with Raycon Profit that, he found out about smoothies early, and then he was like, I like that. And then pretty soon your diet has changed considerably as opposed to a year ago, right?
Yeah, to be honest, it really is up and down. It's a mindset thing. I think it's the same with business and, in health and everything. It's mindset, man. But if you could keep stepping forward, even if you take, 2 steps back, try to take 3 steps forward. So it's definitely a work in progress. It's changing, but man, I agree so much with what you're saying. It really resonates with me. It's like, personally, if I try to go too fast and do like, I have the habit of like going crazy sometimes and like going psycho with something for like a month, but it always seems to fall off. But if I'm like just taking slow little steps, like I'll stick with it.
I got a question for Steve. Yeah, and I got a question for Chris. Steve, how's the fitness thing going? Like in a 15-second just synopsis of the last 6 months.
Working out and strength and like muscle really, really well. Diet up and down.
You've been real consistent.
Not good.
Diet not good.
Weight is not good. My diet's not good. It's good, but with like weight gain, it's like if you eat like an extra 100 calories a day, like you'll gain like 20 pounds a year. Like it doesn't take much to gain and lose weight, but it's these little decisions that are hurting me, especially late at night. But getting really, really strong, but not getting really skinny.
Yeah, and Raken and I talked on it was not one-off. We had a conference call between the admin staff at one point. It was only like me, Cody, and Raken, I think. So we were talking about stuff. And Raken, it's not out of the question that you might actually be moving maybe to a better location in the USA where things are a little bit more active. And he was tossing up the idea of maybe moving to Austin, Texas. And I got to tell you, I think just out of habit, if you come down here, you will see everyone. I don't think in Connecticut, when the snow's piled up, up to your roof, that people are outside in like Lululemon and spandex trying to jog around. Well, here we don't have snow. Yeah, we don't have snow, so like people are working out like visibly every single day, like in the neighborhoods.
It's
downtown.
not an excuse though. I mean, I know a lot of people around here that they go to the gym, they're active and they're in good shape. It's the cold isn't an excuse, but it's depressing at times when it's snow and you can't go out running. And like I love bike riding and stuff, so I mean, I definitely been considering moving to a warmer area. I don't know, for you guys in the comments, any of you guys getting the snow right now, the cold temperature, because it changes your mindset if you're not careful.
There is actually scientific evidence of a winter depression.
Yeah, no, that's totally true.
Yeah, absolutely. And I actually feel like I had a little bit of a bout of a homesickness / sadness. I've never experienced a winter like this before, where there was snow on the ground and cloudiness and not getting vitamin D from my skin hitting the sun and things like that. And I don't know, I just never experienced it before. And having to work pretty much like 10 hours a day. So
I had a friend who was prescribed. He went to literally like diagnosed him with something that has to do with not getting enough vitamin D or getting the sun, and they gave him this certain type of light to put in his room.
Oh yeah,
do you know anything about that?
Yeah, they're actually, I heard a podcast on that the other day. It's actually, the podcast is called The People's Pharmacy, and it's on the NPR radio, and there's a light that they create that actually works better than a lot of antidepressant pills. It's shown to work better than a lot of the antidepressant pills. So there's definitely a correlation between your vitamin D and depression.
If I was a doctor, I would just prescribe trampolines to everybody. I'm not trying to be biased or anything, but yeah.
That's true. You got to prescribe trampolines, but the only thing is like you got to do 10 jumps on week 1, and then move it to 20 jumps on week 2, and then you build to 1,000 jumps a day, like what Raken does in the morning. You get 1,000, and that's what you're looking for, right?
The only problem with that is a private insurance company would not want to pay for that.
I wonder if Young is still listening to this entire thing. Young, you still there?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay. Okay. You're in your car. Your car sounds great, man. It's almost like you're in a Lexus, but we know you're in a Subaru, so that's great.
No, I'm actually at home now. I'm just sitting in my car in the driveway listening to you guys.
Well, that's why it sounds like a Lexus.
Oh, you're just
not even going.
Just sitting in the driveway.
I thought you were in an eBay parking lot.
So we got a lot of people talking about these good points that we're putting out here, by the way, guys. One of the things is great point, college picker. Full-time job can be a great learning tool, especially if you work for a successful business. So that's cool. Picking for Dollars says, wow, I really needed this episode. What is a good wake-up call? That's pretty cool. Racing Stripes, small victories build momentum. So very cool. All kinds of people are talking about random stuff here. There's a question for Raken. Came from our. Okay, so there's a viewer in here that's seeing the Green Room Hangout for the very first time. Chevy's in first, and she's saying I slowly been building my eBay account. Have a 493 positive feedback. I want to start getting into old clothing, so I bought the mannequins and the tape measure. What to you guys is the most important measurements to have on a listing? This is a newbie question, keep in mind. So I said I'll ask Raken about this.
So, like, what are the best measurements for clothing?
It depends on the clothing, right?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. Like, for a short sleeve item, you're going to want the chest, and you're going to want the length. So the chest is from, like, the pit to pit right here. And you also want to make sure not to, like, stretch out the down. Just have it, like, naturally there, because if you try to stretch it out, it's going to give you the wrong measurement. And then the length would be, and you could do this differently. The key is describe in the listing how you're measuring it. So you could even, like, use some HTML and use, like, a diagram or something, or you can just say, like, from armpit to armpit. But the length for a short sleeve is from, I usually do from the top of the collar down to the bottom of the shirt. And if it's a long sleeve, just add the sleeve measurement. So I usually do from the shoulder, right where there's, like, the little crease, down to the cuff. And if you're going to be doing anything like formal, like blazers, coats, and stuff like that, I would add the waist measurement, which I usually do from, like, the top button, and then the shoulder measurement, which I usually do from, like, the two seams at the top. You know, a suit, you're going to add the measurements for, like, the waist and the inseam. You could also, like, measure the cuff or the rise and stuff like that, but I don't even do any of that. But definitely the chest, the pit to pit is huge. That's what most people are looking for, and the length.
Okay, good. So that answers the newbie question right there. And we are a little bit ahead of schedule, guys. I'm going to go into, we're going to ask, you know, if you have any questions or remarks about this episode, let's definitely go into the comment feed, put your comment in there, and while you're typing away your comment, make sure you hit that like button. We really enjoy having those likes all the way up. Cody, how you feeling? You feeling good, man? Yes? No? He's just sitting there looking at us. All right, Cody's out.
He might be frozen.
Young is in? Young, are you still there?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay. At any point, do you think you're going to leave your full-time job? Yes or no?
In the near future, probably not. But am I planning on going full-time? Yes. basically not anytime soon. But I am planning on going full-time eventually.
Jan, can I ask you kind of a personal question? Not too personal, but this will probably help a lot of people out, because I'm sure there's a lot of people that are like you know, has a nice job, nice set of hair. I don't know what that means, but you know, a nice job, making good money and everything, and you want to go, like, deep down inside, there's probably a party that, like, wants to go full time, but you're not. Like, what's the try to be as transparent as possible. What's, like, the reason why, like, the underlying reason why you're not willing to quit and take that step? Because I know you know how to do it. You've got the education, you've got the support, you've got the hair, a nice set of hair, like I said. That's big. Deep down inside, like, what's your thoughts in terms of why you're not?
Well, first of all, let me just I don't know how my connection is, so if
it's perfect, dude. Don't worry about it.
Okay. But I mean, for me personally, I mean, and this is something that that I talked to you guys about behind the scenes, and I don't mind mentioning this, but me personally, the reason why I'm still working at my day job is I actually have a really good relationship with my boss. I make my own hours. I mean, there's been times when I've talked to you guys during the week and I'm at home, right? So that's number one. I can pretty much set my own hours. Number two, I have a really good relationship with my boss. And number three, again, this is something that I mentioned to you guys in private, but I don't mind mentioning this in the hangout. But, you know, my job, I have the option of going back to school and getting my master's, and my job is willing to pay for that. And right now, I'm kind of deciding whether I should go back and get that degree or not.
Are they going to make you work while they pay the tuition?
Oh, yeah. I would still have to work. I mean, that's just part of the benefits, right, of working there.
Do you have to sign any kind of time frame after the fact when you graduate? Do you have to sign, like, 2 years with the company, or, like, how does it work?
No. Not
you should do it, man. I did it. I did it for 2.5 years, man. I got full-time working at a corporate job, and I went full-time at an MBA.
The thing is, but then that, I mean, again, it's something that I'm debating on whether I should do it or not. But then if I do it, it takes time away from what I enjoy doing, which is obviously hustling, and so that's kind of up in, that's what I'm debating whether I should do or not. But
if you just think about doing it, it's taking time away from actually getting it done, and then continue to hustle.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things that to me it'll look good on paper. I mean, would I really even use that master's degree? Probably not.
It's all about the letters after your name, man. Don't you know that?
Exactly right. But no, I mean, it's like Chris who has his MBA, but I mean, he's not even using that degree at this point. But and I'm not saying I'm not saying don't go for a college degree. I think and you guys know I'm a huge advocate. I mean, anytime you have an opportunity to get a college degree, I'll be the first one to raise my hand and say, if you have the opportunity to get a degree, go and do it. But I'm at that point in my life now, at my age, at my stage in my life, I've done that.
We're doing a screencast.
But yeah, I mean that's the primary reason why I haven't gone full time.
It smells like weed.
But
Oh my God, that was awesome.
It's like supposed to be a pretty spiritual.
I don't think he knows that his thing's not on.
That is hilarious. All right, that was pretty funny. No, I'm going to echo in on what Yang was saying. When I did my MBA, your life will absolutely change unbelievable amounts when you go into the master's program of anything. And when I did my master's thing, it was when I was like 27 or maybe 26. And it smokes up 2 to 3 years of your life, like straight up if you go full time. So you got to be very careful. I got to tell people out there, if you get a chance to do it, if you're in a corporate mindset kind of person and you want that and you just want to go up in corporate America, which is originally what I was thinking a whole lot about, and I loved hustling. Don't get me wrong. I just was like, oh, corporate America, investment banking, do all this cool stuff and like build my own company and all that, and work for Apple in town or something like that. Unfortunately, here's what happened. In 2008, that crash really thinned out a lot of companies. A lot of places are going lean. A lot of jobs that were once there 20 years ago, 10 years ago are not there anymore, and job security is still very, very bad. So I think the days of an MBA being an amazing thing, I think if you get an MBA from a very accredited place, then that might be worth it. But if you're getting an MBA from freaking Austin Chainfire University or flip that what university, it's not going to be worth it. What'd you say?
No.
Yeah, like Phoenix,
University of Phoenix online.
Like some of those, and they're hatching up all over the place. I would not do it. I absolutely would not do it. And if you're going full-time hustling, you're not gonna need it for really any part of it. But your life will change significantly, and it's the change that if you have a wife, I think it's not a good idea to do it. If you have kids, I don't think it's a good idea to do it.
I think most college degrees are actually a horrible investment.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we're coming into the time now where it's getting. It's arguable, man. There's so much information out there. I mean, look at like Nike, for example.
See, I disagree. Again, I'm a huge advocate of higher education. I think if you have the opportunity to go, especially for your undergraduate, go ahead and do it.
No way, man. There's like 75% of degrees that universities offer that aren't going to get you a job to pay off the debt that you
absolutely.
accumulated.
I mean, I'm doing work that I'm not even qualified for. But the thing is, I mean, it's just if you have the opportunity, it makes you a better person, in my opinion. It makes you a well-rounded person, and just the experience by itself is just so much valuable.
Yeah, I agree with you. The experience is fun. Me going to college, me in the MBA program, that experience was good. The cost of that was I didn't get to pay attention to any of my dog at that time, which I kind of feel bad about to this day because I would just be leaving at odd times to go to class and then study for like 5 hours a night. 5 hours a night. No, it really messed with my head.
You sound like you're so guilty about this.
I felt terrible about it, and I lost my girlfriend at that time too because I was working so hard at the MBA thing. Because I was doing a full-time job, okay, and I was doing a full-time MBA program at nighttime. So I would come home, like literally have 20 minutes to eat some food. My dog would be looking at me with his eyes like, all play with me, like, let's go outside. And I was like, I couldn't do it. And to this day, I feel terrible about it because that happened for 2.5 years, man. Like, think about that. A dog's life is only 14 years long, 14 to 16 years long. So easily, 15 or 20% of that dog's life, like, he looked up at me as soon as I came through the door, and it's like I couldn't deliver on that playtime that I was supposed to give to him. So that's why I say if you have a wife, some kids, pets that you really love, think twice about doing that MBA thing, or if you do it part-time or something. Be real careful, because once you get started, it is fun. You meet some great people, but the homework load is atrocious. It will be.
I mean, the good thing about being a hustler and a reseller is your education is going to come from your failures and your experience. I mean, that's the only way you're going to learn. I mean, if you're constantly just looking on eBay completed list, I mean, yeah, you can learn to some point, but the way you're actually going to learn is when you actually go out and source the wrong products. You realize that's not going to sell. And then that's how you learn. And then now you know, well, I'll never pick up that shirt again, right? I mean, that's the only way you're going to learn as being a reseller. That's your university, is from experience.
True. If you're going down the reselling road, like College Picker said, like, you might not want to even do the college thing, because if you're getting the degree, it's hard to say, because there are plenty of people now that are just making wonderful lives for themselves, not even getting college degrees, and learning the ins and outs of like website building, building your email list, getting a subscription-based website, like doing things that make a lot of money, and having passion about something in your life. That's what it's all about. If you have passion and you know how to get it out there on a website or podcast or something, you will make money. But you have to start early, and you have to be driven. And if you're working for yourself, that gets very tough to do, because like Rakin was talking about, like I was talking about, your own thoughts start messing with you. The fact that you can wake up whenever you want, that will mess with you. There are a lot of things that will mess with you. So hopefully this broadcast or this hangout really helps you guys maybe think a little bit more about doing it. We always encourage people to go full-time. We always encourage that. But we encourage people in the green room to do it in a smart way. And whenever someone asks us, like, I'm thinking about going full-time, am I doing this right? Here's my equation. This is what I've saved up. This is what I'm doing. I will always be one of the first ones to interject in there and say, all right, hold on. Let's just make sure this is right, because, I feel accountable for that. They found us through our YouTube audience, and now they're in our room, and now we're teaching them a lot of stuff, and now they're going, we want to do what you guys are doing. We have to be very careful with that, and we hold the answers in a lot of those questions, and I want to make sure that I help people out that way. Cody's the exact same way. Rakin's the exact same way. When we see those people asking about that kind of stuff, we jump in there and we try to make sure, and other people in the green room that are full-time will go in there too and going, all right, make sure that you get all your stuff right before you make that thing and this and that. Let's see your eBay sales. Let's see your Amazon. What do you think you're doing? It kind of gets like that. So, okay, Crazy Christmas 1. When you quit your jobs, what did your bosses or wives or girlfriends say? Did they back you up, or did they raise the big question mark? This is a great question. Let's go. Let's fire down the 3 full-time hustlers right here. Cody, when you quit your actual job, what did your girlfriend say, or your wife at that time? What did they say, or did they back you up, or did they raise the big question mark?
Shameless plug. I just talked about this exact story in my podcast I just launched, but yes, they did. She did back me up. I mean, she knew I was going to quit. I wasn't happy with my corporate job, and basically she backed me up on the process. But it's a scary thought when you have kids to support. At the time, we had 2 kids, very little, and even now having a 3rd kid, even though we're not worried about money ever, it's still always something to think about. Even though knowing that if I had no income, I could pay my bills for a long time, it's still something to think about. So having that support system is vital.
Yep. And Rakin, right now, when you left your Cracker Barrel job, did your parents or wife or girlfriend or boss, did your boss declare, were they giving you the thumbs up, or were they going like, hey man, what are you going to do? Or did you already have that transition planned up pretty good?
Yeah, I planned it out. They didn't really care that much, because it's a dime a dozen job. They could replace you in a second. But I didn't have a lot of bills at the time because I was living at home with the folks. So they were supportive and everything. But I remember specifically my brother saying one time, "You're gonna make money selling used clothing," like it was like this, and I was like, I guess so. It wasn't concrete, but I was doing Craigslist and bikes and had a few things, and I went for it. I wasn't sure at the time, but sometimes you've got to just go for it. You never know. It's like if you don't take the shot, you never know if you're gonna score. It's crazy.
Yeah,
that's the thing you just said, Steve. That's the bummer. I don't understand why everyone on this call is not either full-time or getting ready to go. You just said they can replace you in a second. It's a dime a dozen job. Who lives like that? Like, why do you guys want to live like that? That's what I never understood. That's why I don't understand why more people, make a plan and quit their job. It's just crazy. I mean, you were a number at Cracker Barrel, which is a good restaurant, but you don't want to be a number. You want to be the raking profits. And now look at you, unstoppable.
Not every job treats you like a number. Some people actually are getting really good health benefits or retirement benefits to the point where it'd be really, really financially poor advice for them to quit their job at this point.
Yeah,
I buy my own
CP. I mean, I guess I'm kind of like the exception. I mean, I get treated really well at my day job. I mean, I have a really good salary. I have no. I mean, every job has their pros and cons. I mean, even being a hustler full-time has its pros and cons. I mean, there's days when I go into my day job and I'm just frustrated at some of the projects that I have. But I mean, overall, it's been really good to me.
Young, could you leave your job at any point during the day to go work out?
Absolutely.
Could you go take a nap whenever you want?
I've done that many times.
Can you eat whenever you want?
Yes.
Can you go hustling if you wanted to?
You know that I've done that many times.
And are you allowed to get maybe a week or so off at a time, at any given time, with like maybe 2 or 3, 4 weeks notice?
Absolutely, I've done that plenty of times.
Then why would you quit your job? There's no reason to.
I did that
because you don't control it. Young can get fired at any time. At any time.
Last year when I went to Texas, remember, you guys were giving me a hard time because I bought my ticket at the last minute.
Cody.
I could go anywhere I want in the world right now, for one. And for two, I agree. Young's got an awesome job. Eric has an awesome job.
No, my job does not have that freedom. No.
But you get paid really well. And most people consider pay everything. And
no,
I know that
pay is not everything. The other things are so much. I could take like a 50% pay cut if I had what Young has. Would be great.
Yeah, I mean,
right,
Cody,
but what Young has can be taken from him. What I have can't be taken from me. I have multiple income streams that I'm making money with doing nothing. You can actually set things like that up, like with my websites and things like that. I haven't touched in months. Now, I think you have a really good job, Young, and you're definitely the exception, but that still could be taken from you. What I have can't.
Oh,
what
absolutely.
Steve has can't.
Absolutely. And you know what? My job could be
hackers.
I can get laid off tomorrow, but the good thing about it is being a reseller,
they can't even stop us.
No, it's sad though, but it's like you were saying, I could be laid off tomorrow, but the good thing about being a reseller and this experience that I have, I can go full-time tomorrow and not worry about a single thing.
Exactly. You're an exception, Young, by far. You've got an amazing situation, and you've got a skill with reselling where you could do that full-time. But most people out there are at a job that they hate and would love to be doing something full-time, but they just don't take the step. And that's my whole point, is just start taking action.
Yeah, no, that's what you got to do. If you guys want to go full-time and you have a part-time job, I mean, I don't know what you guys talked about in the first half, obviously, because I wasn't here. But one of the key things is build your inventory. Because if you don't have an inventory and you leave your day job, then you'll be starting from scratch, and that's really bad. If you build your inventory, get some experience in, and then you start seeing that money coming in, then maybe consider quitting your day job. But if you're just starting off, I wouldn't recommend it.
You definitely have to build up to it. You have to be at a certain level for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what the exact broadcast has been about the entire time. You gotta know what that level is so you can make the jump. And honestly, the real answer to should you go full time or not is it can be like 50 Shades of Gray area here. It can be you don't know what the real answer could be. Like if you have a perfect setup like what Young did, and I had a really good setup too. Don't get me wrong, I had a really good setup, but I felt inside like I was dying. I was dying inside, and I felt stressed out, and but it was a good job. It was a really good job.
Oh yeah, Young, is your job stressful too? Like the stress thing too?
I mean, my job. I'll be honest. My job does stress me out. I mean, like I said, every job, even being a reseller, has its pros and cons. But overall, it's been really good. I mean, the reason I'm late is because I told you guys right before the show. Again, I talked about me and my boss having a really good relationship. She commutes by train every day, and it just happens that the train had a delay. And she had asked me to come pick her up because it was going to be a 3-hour delay. That's the kind of relationship that me and my boss has, that we have. I mean, I picked her up, drove her home, and that was the reason I was late. And I don't mind doing that because, that job and my boss has been so good to me.
How far is your commute?
With traffic, door to door, I say anywhere between 40 to 50 minutes.
Okay.
Oof. Wow.
That's
Well,
awful.
that's with traffic.
My commute's about 40 or 50 steps.
Well, Luigi, if you run fast enough, how fast can you get to that like pole that you have to jump on and you get all those points? I mean, do you have to
I
start
don't.
running like
I
way
run
early?
and jump, and then I kind of like float.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. I was never a big Luigi fan of the games. I liked Princess, and I didn't like Toad, and I liked Mario.
He has a
I like-
floaty. He has like a
And I
slippery
liked-
jump when you
Yeah,
play
I
him.
like Princess because she can float. Mario too,
Yeah.
she can float.
Yeah.
And she can pick beats, man. She can drop beats and pick up beats. That was cool. Or
Drop
turn
a
it.
beat.
Dropping beats. Here we go. So there we go. Perfect. Great words. Thank you so much for the answers. So yeah, I mean, it's a little, if you're going to do full-time, part-time kind of thing, if you're doing part-time and you have that hunger and you have the desire to become something, you're like us, where you have a YouTube channel and you want to build yourself into something. I think going full-time is an absolute necessity, especially if you want to explore like the things like Cody's talking about or what Reagan's talking about, or I'm talking about. If you want to explore the freedom of life and owning an antique booth and trying to get more streams of passive income, you can explore that with a full-time job. Yes, you can. However, the full-time job will smoke up 8, 9, 10 hours of your day where maybe you can't research all that stuff on the side. Maybe you can't be listening to podcasts all day long. And the other thing, too, one of the reasons why I left my full-time job is because, A, I was dying inside. B, I was sitting in a chair a lot of the times during the day. I didn't like that. And C, I was super stressed. I was just super stressed. Maybe that was A, I said. Anyway, I was just really stressed to the point
What
where
was stressful about it? Like the metrics you had to meet, or like meeting with clients, or like what was stressful to you?
Yeah, it was the metrics, and it's just one of those.
It's like,
It was some of that-
Chris, your numbers for February aren't up there.
Yeah, it was
what are you
like
doing,
that.
Chris?
No.
What are you doing, Chris?
It's any corporate job, corporate America just has that, like, they kind of hound down on you, and it was one of those things. And then some of the places, some of the people that I was dealing business with, some didn't like me, right? Like maybe 10%, 20% didn't like me. So it's just one of those, when you walk into the door, it's kind of like, ooh, uncomfortable, right? And that's kind of not good. It was that.
Wait, your coworkers?
Huh? No. I'm talking about business associates, not associates, but business contacts. It was one of those kind of things. Some of you guys down there know what my job was before, but a lot of people on YouTube land don't know. I'll never tell them. But it was a good job. I loved it, but inside I was dying, and I was like, I can't die inside. Like, I got to know what life is outside of this. So I left, and it was a good decision. I love every part of it, but it gets scary sometimes. Don't get me wrong. I got scared a couple times, and there's a big question mark on my girlfriend going like, you really want to do this or not? You want to continue doing this? And I did. I really did. So I kept going forward, and I'm still, at this point, I'm not there yet, but I'm constantly trying to build a passive income stream.
Chris.
Go ahead.
Let me ask you, how long did it take you to realize, like up until the day you actually quit, like how long before that were you like thinking those thoughts? Because just like personally, I remember driving to Cracker Barrel, and I would park my car, and this happened for about 5 months in a row. I'd park my car, and I'm sitting in my little apron. Yeah, imagine me. I'm sitting in this little apron, and I'm thinking to myself, why am I going into this place right now? Why? And like I would literally like play out this whole story of just like driving away and quitting. Like how long, like how long before you actually did it? Like did you like?
I thought about quitting before I did my MBA program at that job. I was thinking about it right then, and I was like, all right, some people were talking me out of it, and some people, like other people in the job, were like, look, man, like, this job actually does like a compensation program for an MBA, and I was like, really, that's interesting. They're like, if you're gonna jet, you might as well take advantage of this thing before you do, because it's like a $41,000 program or something like that, and they're like, you can basically have that under your belt. And I was still in corporate America mode. You got to keep that in mind. I wasn't in hustler mode back then.
So they don't cut your hours during these programs?
What'd you say?
Like they don't cut your hours. You're still working 40
No,
hours.
I was working full. That's what I'm telling you. That's
Dude,
why.
That's so dumb. Why don't they like cut you to like 10 hours a week and let you go to school?
That's corporate America for you right there. They want their numbers. They were like, look, if we're going to invest in this guy, he can do a part-time or a full-time MBA, but either way, he's still doing a full-time job.
That's ridiculous.
So I went for the fastest way out. So I was like, all right, I was going to quit, but I didn't. I had all the money saved up, and I was like, okay, I'll do the MBA thing. And I did that for 2.5 years.
Austin's never going to forgive you for it.
What'd you say?
Austin's never going to forgive you for it.
No, it's not Austin. Peter. It's my dog Peter.
Oh, Peter's never going to forgive you for it. That's why he's got all those gray hairs.
I know, man. I feel bad about it. I got to tell you, man. Underneath all this bona fide, flipping out on camera and everything, there's a heart in there somewhere. Trust me, guys. And it just got to me, man.
Like, how do
Anyway,
what's the sound effect? What's the sound effect for bona fide heart? Like, it's like bona fide hustler. Like, what's the bona fide heart say?
It just sounds like this. It goes profit, 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 profit. Anyway, that's what it says. If you listen carefully in the stethoscope, you'll hear profit. Anyway, okay. Cody, are we good to go? We are 15 minutes over our time here.
Yeah, we're good to go.
Did we cover it? Did we cover it?
No, there's more to be
really
talked about. There's more to be talked about.
Well, we opened it up really well. I mean, we could talk about it for the rest of the night, but realistically, there's a lot of stuff they could take from this and use when they're getting ready to leave.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Absolutely.
But one thing what I would say is, I love talking. Again, I'm a huge advocate of people going to school. If anyone has any concerns, they can message me, and I'll be more than happy to talk to them about it.
You take them out to lunch? You can take them out to lunch, Young?
You know what? Steve, every person that's gone picking with me, I've always bought them lunch. That is a true fact.
I love it. I love it.
So wait, are we all going? You take them? Where do you take them? Like sushi, or do you take them to like McDonald's and stuff?
Hey, you know what? I'll let them choose. Seriously. Hey, where do you want to go?
You know what? If you guys want free lobster, hit up Yong. He's in the San Jose area.
If you're local and you want to go picking, hey, I will buy you lunch.
You're gonna get like 100 emails.
I know, huh? Oh, hey, I'm free tomorrow.
you said you could do anything with your job, so meet up with me, man. And you're gonna be like, hold on.
Seriously, but if you guys do want to talk about it, I mean, I love talking about education and whatnot. So if you guys have any questions, please just contact me. I'll be more than happy to talk to you guys about it.
Part-time guidance counselor, hustler.
Do you want to give out your direct phone number live right now?
Sure.
Yeah, if you guys want to talk to me about dropping out and then becoming successful, feel free at any time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so there you go, guys. We're the admin staff of the Green Room. Thank you for joining us for Green Room episode number 51. And if you need to find us or talk to us about anything else, you know how to find us. Cody Hawk's got channels with Twitter and Facebook and YouTube, and same with College Picker, same with Rakin, and same with Young. So we are all on the social media channels. Come find us there if you want to join our Green Room. You know where to find us as well. We'll put the link into the actual description when the show becomes a real video, and I'm pretty sure, Rakin, you want to drop that link real quick in the comment feed just in case someone wants to see it. But the link to our place will be there. An update real quick. 2 more minutes, guys. An update. Where are we? We are actually branching out and getting a Green Room website. Yes or no? Yes. Yep. Right? I should know that. I'm trying to make this interactive, and they're not helping. So I'll answer all my questions. Yeah, so we have a Green Room website rolling out very soon. I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks, right? Something like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go, guys. Green Roomers, we got a website building up that's going to be really interesting, and we plan to put a lot of exclusive stuff into the file section of that room. You're going to be really surprised. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be far beyond the kind of stuff that you see in our file section right now. We're talking about really putting some cool stuff in there. And update on the July 11th thing this year. Let's update that real quick. I think we've honed down the venue to a Salt Lick here in Austin, Texas. By the way, if you're watching the Jimmy Kimmel show at nighttime right now, he's in Austin, Texas right now, and they're doing the live show from South by Southwest here in town. And they're really big barbecue goers, so I think at some point they're going to go to the Salt Lick because that's the best in town. But that's where our Green Room Appreciation Dinner is going to be, the Salt Lick in Driftwood, Texas, which is like 10 miles outside of town. And any Green Roomer can bring one person.
Go! It's amazing. It's amazing. It blew my mind when I went there. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, it's really, really good. Yang, you were there. How was the Salt Lick barbecue, Yang?
It was good. I mean, even the waiter was just very entertaining.
Oh yeah. And then College Picker had it, and he wasn't a fan of these things called burnt ends, but
what?
No, I watched the video. I rewatched the video, and College Picker was not a fan of the burnt ends, but that's okay. He likes barbecue. He likes all that stuff.
My colon's still recovering.
It's a wonderful place to go. It is a very historical place. It's a all-you-can-eat kind of thing. It's going to be amazing. So if you're a Green Roomer, you're a member, you're in the central part of the USA, and you want to come to Austin, Texas on July 11th, that is where we're going to have our appreciation dinner, and we are comping our Green Room members +1 to come to that event. We are also working on a top secret thing from 8 to 12 in the morning on that Saturday, which is July 11th. There's something top secret that we're working on right now. See if we can bring it to fruition, which should be really, really cool. That's going to be open to YouTubers that are not Green Room members and the Green Room members as well. Green Room members will be comped. course, the other ones we're going to have to charge a fee, and that's not a big deal because I think for what you see it's going to be, you might be like, oh, that's going to be really interesting. So that's something that we're trying to bring to fruition right now. That's a little bit of what
YouTubers though. We want like the whole world's open to it. So if there's a limited number of tickets or something, then everyone's got to jump on it as soon as possible.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. I have high hopes for this thing that we're planning. So if you're going to be coming to this town on July 11th weekend, start carving out that block between 8 and 12 in the morning on that Saturday, July 11th. And if you're a Green Room member, definitely be at our appreciation dinner. We don't have any kind of shuttles. You know, we're not going to have it that big. You know, our company isn't huge at all. But one day when it is huge, we're going to get buses and we're going to get the whole 9 yards, and we're going to fly the MVP of the Green Room out on a helicopter. We're going to do some interesting things. But when it's still small and in its infancy stages right now, we won't have any shuttles, so you're going to have to drink responsibly and all that kind of stuff. But it'll be a lot of fun. If you love barbecue, okay, I'm telling you right now, we have a video about it on my channel, so you can take a look at it. But this place is like the best ever. So, all right, guys. So thanks for joining our Green Room Hangout number 51. We will see you on the 52 Hangout next week, and we have a guest. So look out for that advertisement coming very, very soon. Advertisement coming in about 2 or 3 days. The guest is really cool. You'll see. Anyway, someone that travels and picks at the same time. You're gonna love this one. All right, guys. We will talk to you next time. Peace out. Bye.
Bye.